All right, we're recording. It is October 18th, week before Ole and Push 2018. And this is going to be on brainstorming more people to call and organizing your attack list. So, um, we're going to be using a handout called Getting More Appointments. And just kind of lay the framework for this. It's really important to know that um, it's never a question of resources, it's always a question of resourcefulness. That anything you ever want, if you ask the right questions, you'll eventually find the answers. So if you want more money, if you ask the right questions, you'll be able to get more money. If you want more time, if you ask the right questions, you'll get more time. If you want more love in your life, you ask the right questions, you'll get more love in your life. So it's really not about the resources that are available in front of your face. It's more about resourcefulness and asking the right questions to get what it is that you want. So oftentimes when representatives are, thinking about people that they could do appointments with, the reason why they get stuck a lot of times is because they're asking the wrong questions. They're asking questions that create answers that create intimidation. So for example, it's like, who can I call that I could, set up an appointment with? Who could I call that I think would buy Cutco? Who can I call to, help me hit my goals? When we ask questions like that, they're fairly limiting because some of them have selfish intent, some of them create intimidation, whatever it might be. So a couple other questions that you might be able to think about asking yourself is, something like, who's someone that who are some people, who's someone I haven't talked to in probably like 10 years that if I got a call from them, I'd feel pretty excited to hear from them or feel curious to see how they're doing. Like who do I have that I'd be like curious to see how they're doing? And that showed up for me. Um, People that come to my mind immediately, 33 years old, my second grade teacher, Mrs. Colasordo. That might not even be her last name anymore, but like she was one of my favorite teachers. And like it creates a curiosity for me of like I truly am curious, like how is that lady? I remember she had short black spiky hair. She was a huge Michael Bolton and New York Giants fan. And I remember this lady. I haven't talked to her or seen her since I was in elementary school, but I still remember her. And I'm like genuinely curious to see how she is and what she's up to. People that show up was like Stevie Curtis. We were in Hebrew school together growing up, super long time ago, and then he moved away, and I was just genuinely curious, like, what's up with this kid? I wonder how his family is. I wonder how he's doing. I'm just so curious. Um, there's people that just from the past. It's like I'm curious. I remember I did something similar with less wisdom, but I was genuinely curious to meet some of my mom's cousins, like people that were super removed from me that they probably met me when I was like a baby, but like I don't know if I ever met them. I was like genuinely curious to like know their story and like understand how they're like related to me and what their perception of the family is and all of that. And what's interesting is many of you know my story of like my sample kit was stolen after like my 6th week on the job, and I really didn't have many people to call as far as what I felt. But from coming from a place of confidence versus coming from a place of scarcity, I was able to find some of these ideas. What's kind of cool is Stevie Curtis, just to give you an idea, he lives in London now. We recently connected on Facebook because of that curiosity. Um, we have like an ongoing little conversation going. As far as my mom's cousins that I mentioned, um, I ended up finding several of them. When my sample kit was stolen, they live like an hour and a half away. It'd be like from here to Orlando. We didn't have a virtual demo back then, but I'd make the drive, made the drive just to meet with them. They had me over for dinner. I chatted with them, talked them up. And it was only a pair of super shears is all I sold. I probably got like a dozen recommendations. But here's what's crazy. That's the only memory I have of, it's my mom's cousin, Helena. And probably about 3 years after that demo, she ended up passing away. And what's interesting is like, I had this memory of like this woman who I met when I was like a kid, but when she ended up dying, I was able to like kind of talk to the whole family about like her story because I had a Cutco presentation with her. You know what I mean? So yes, it was about my push. Yes, it was about SE2. Yes, it was about winning my galley set. Yes, it was about those things, but there was a deeper underlying factor there that didn't make the phones as scary afterwards, because I was able to create like such a great memory with a person that now is no longer with us. So the story that we tell ourselves is important. So I want to kind of set the framework of this workshop of getting more appointments. Is number one is resourcefulness, and number two is what are the questions you're asking yourself. And if you could ask the questions that position you into curiosity and position you into excitement, it's going to be a lot easier to have an open mind with brainstorming different ideas and different ways to connect and find people that you could reach out to, either to introduce yourself to or just reconnect with them. It doesn't seem as scary, going through your friends' parents, because if you go through your friends and yes, the habit's the same, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, and send messages, but the story that we're telling ourselves to do it is a lot different. It's like, man, that kid, I wonder I'm curious of like, how did his parent, how did he get the way he is? If you have that kid that's, super popular, did he have like super popular parents, as well? I'm curious, how he was raised. What's interesting enough, we had a really popular kid in high school. His name was Brian Parness. And like, he was like the attractive kid. All the girls loved him. His mom was a substitute teacher. And, he was just so popular, basketball player, all-star athlete. And I was like, not cool at all. So for me to reach out to him for his mom's number was super chickenless, like uber chickenless. Like I didn't know, he probably knew me because my older sister was in the same grade, but we weren't close at all. I ended up sending him an instant message on AOL and sent him an IM and asked him for his mom's number. And I remember doing the appointment, of course, got the appointment, and it was no big deal. But it's interesting that, sitting down with Mrs. Parness, and she was always a substitute teacher, and he was always the cool kid, but like being in their house and being in their space, Jewish family, she had breast cancer that I had no idea that she was dealing with. Just kind of hearing their story and seeing all the pictures on the wall, and just like seeing like this popular kid, quote unquote, really just had a very normal life. And I don't know, it was just like the popularity and coolness was almost like a facade of like how his home life was. And again, like little things like that created so much more excitement for me to meet more parents of the kids that I knew, just to kind of like enter their world. Not many people get a chance to do that. So with that being said, you look at this thought jogger list of all these helpful ideas and these thought joggers of, different places that you can go to find more people. There's always more resources. And you think about, the guidance counselor of your high school, something so simple, but like that person is probably so connected and so willing to help. I can't imagine that person saying no. I mean, that was Miss Vale for us. That was a simple one. The principal school, probably intimidating, especially, for a couple of you, but maybe it makes sense to reach out. Maybe think about all the doctors you've ever had in your life. Like all these doctors, my goodness. It was funny. I was watching a Modern Family episode, and it's a really funny show if you never checked it out. And there was a scene where, they're picking up trash, and, Phil Dunphy is teaching his kids a lesson about like doing good things. And a guy walks up and it's like, "Hey, Mr. Real Estate, how are you? Good. Hey, I need a favor. Do you think you could float me, some money to, my car hasn't started in a while." And he's just like, "Of course." And he gives him like $60 or something like that. And then and then his son was like, Dad, you just got scammed. That guy has no idea who you are. He's like, of course he did. Didn't you hear him? He said he knows me as Mr. Real Estate. And like, there's a park bench that has his face on it saying Mr. Real Estate. And he's like, that's just coincidence. We know each other. I swear. I just can't put the fit name to it. And a couple scenes later, the guy is asking some other guy across the street of like, hey, buddy, can I get some money? I gotta move my car. And then Phil Dunphy's like, I cannot believe I just got scammed. Like, what the hell? So him and his boys take all this trash and dump it inside the parked car that he quote unquote needed to move because he had no money. So they dump all this trash inside his car, inside of his convertible. And the guy's like, Phil, what the hell are you doing? He's like, wait, you know me? He's like, I delivered your son, Dr. So-and-so. I delivered your son. He's sitting right there. You don't remember me? He's like, oh shit. You look different. Yeah. So, the point I'm making is like, you don't, how well do you really need to know someone to, like, do you really need to remember them? I don't know. Like, just ask. There's probably so many people. Ask your mom just for fun. Hey, Mom, who was the doctor that delivered me? And if you're Brenda, it's like, think about all the doctors you've ever worked with in the nursing industry. For crying out loud, there's probably a lifetime of doctors and nurses and people you've come in contact with that genuinely, wouldn't you be genuinely curious of like who delivered you? Like, how cool would that be to like sit down with that person and be like, yeah, hey, look at me 20 years later. How many times does a doctor get a chance to like sit down and have a conversation with someone that they delivered 20 years later? Like, I don't know. That genuinely gets me curious and excited. So those types of questions don't make it as scary to like reach out to people because it's not from a selfish intent. It's like, it's just from an excitement and curiosity. So I had a guy, Mike Nisbet, his sister was an IB and he went through his sister's IB directory, and calling all of those moms. And, we crafted a phone approach and of like, hey, Susie, this is Mike Nisbet, Katie Nisbet's little brother. Your son, Jacob, because his name was like in the directory, was in IB over at Palm Harbor High School with my sister Katie. I'm her younger brother, 2 years younger. How are you? Good. And just established a connection. It's like, by the way, how is Jacob? I know my sister Katie's over at FSU now. What is he up to? Oh, he's doing blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's great. That's so good to hear. Yeah, my goal is to do that too. And, the whole reason I was calling is I had a favor to ask you. And, some of the moms have been really nice enough to help me out because I'm trying to follow in my big sister's footsteps, like stuff like that. Really, I mean, he probably booked up, I don't know, probably 30 or 40 appointments, from calling his older sister's IB directory. But he came from that position that we're talking about here of genuine like connection, excitement, confidence, as far as that goes. So there's all these different ideas of people, past jobs you've worked at, and going through, any of the previous coworkers. Could you just show up at the previous job, and just like connect and, hey, how are you? And when they ask you how you're doing, then you go from there. Like me, I used to push carts at Stop and Shop. I remember just showing up at the store one day. Hey guys, how are you? Good. Saw Vicky there. She hated me, but I said hi anyway. And, I didn't do anything as far as an appointment with her because she was so mean. But then I remember, Bob Rebely was the owner. Like he ran the whole store and, I left Stop and Shop to sell Cutco. So he's like, how you been? When as soon as he asked me how I am, like, how have I been? I told him it's like things are going really, really well. And, in fact, I was hoping maybe you might be able to do me a favor. Yeah, what's up? What do you need? And I just went into it. I got a new job, I showed Cutco. And he's like, well, I can't have you over the house, but, we could do something in the break room. Would that work for you? I was like, sure. Why not? He's like, yeah, I'll have all the other guys rotate too. So I'll get Frankie from the deli. I'll get Robert from the bakery. and you just sit here in the break room, and then I'll just send them in. Would that help you out? I was like, yeah, let's do it. He bought a fishing knife. Frankie Smith bought a galley, and I remember a cleaver for free because I had to call my manager to see if I could do that. And he worked in the deli. And I remember Robert, he didn't buy at the time because he's like, my wife needs to see this. So he invited me over his house, and I did an appointment with his wife, who was cutting hair in the middle of my appointment. So I had to do the Cutco presentation for her while she was giving a haircut. And I remember it was my first all knife set that I ever sold. And I mean, it was just no big deal. And all it did was come from just going there. And I remember some of the kids that were working there, this kid, Brian, I probably still have his phone number in my phone. It's just like, yeah, hey, maybe your mom might be nice enough to help me out with my new job. What is it? It's like show and tell, like doing a Cutco presentation. She doesn't have to buy. And I remember I got his mom's number, and I remember calling her. It was one of my first morning phone calls. I did it like 7:15 a.m. And we did morning, like that was morning phone time, 7 a.m. to 7:30. I remember calling his mom at 7:15 a.m. My manager woke me up because I told him, all right, I'll commit to morning phone time. So I did morning phone time, 7:15 a.m. And I call his mom, and she was all chipper, and I was like still in bed. I still remember this. And hey, this is Mike. I don't know if you met me before, but I actually used to work at Stop and Shop with your son, Robert. I usually wouldn't call you this early, but I'm working really hard towards the goal. She's like, no big deal. Absolutely. I'm just starting my day. Shoot, I wish my son would wake up this early. How can I help you? And it just gave me an overwhelming sense of confidence of doing morning phone time. I remember she was my first morning phone call because I was like, I got nothing to lose. I never met this lady. And that's how I was trained. And these are ideas, hopefully me telling you some of these stories, it triggers some ideas of, man, maybe I could explore that. So let me come up for some air real quick. I know I've been talking for about, 15, 20 minutes at this point with different stories, different mindset, different framing, different examples. Any comments or feedback so far before I continue of like anything that's kind of shown up for you so far, whether it be a reminder of something you already knew or a new idea that you're like, man, that could be helpful?
Yeah, I like the reminder of being resourcefulness in all, and then asking the right questions. So just either whether it's like going back to your high school, or talking to your principal, or if it's going back to your old job talking to the manager, just doing what you have to do to be resourcefulness and get numbers to call, or set up appointments anyway like that. So it's a good reminder for me.
Great. Thanks for sharing.
Mm-hmm. Just asking the right questions too, like with actual curiosity of like, how has this person been lately? And definitely like the job thing, if I were back at home, I'd definitely go to one of the stores there. But I guess I'm just gonna have to ask my mom about that.
And what's interesting enough, in that case, just a thought for you, could you FaceTime someone that does work there that you're close with, and they carry you around and pass you to each person and just say, guys, it's Sierra. And it's like, and they just pass you around. It's like, oh my God, hey Jane, oh my gosh, you look great. I haven't seen you so long. Oh, you look too, look at you. You have your little lip piercing. Oh my gosh, that's new. I didn't remember you having that. Or, wow. How's Florida? Look at you. You're so tan. Oh my gosh. And you get one of those going. I mean, who knows? That might be fun. You get, you kind of get passed around the office during like a lunch break or something. I don't know. I don't know what could come from that, but it would be pretty fun and pretty memorable. Just an idea. Good. Anything else worth mentioning before we transition?
I just remember that you challenging me with the chicken list years ago, and I've had 5 sales from that person that you challenged me to call.
Brenda, do you have Emily Rose in the room with you?
No, it's Emily Rose.
Google Emily Rose. Let's see here. I'll share screen and I'll Google it. Emily Rose. Exorcism. There it is. So this is this is this is this is that's Emily Rose.
What's that got to do with that? That make me feel crazy.
Oh my! All right, I gotta cancel that. Oh my god, that just gave me. I shouldn't have looked at those images. I just got. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, you sound like you're getting like an exorcism done to you, or a transformer, or something like that. Yeah, but anyway, um, yeah. So I did was able to decipher the code that you had Soul had 5 sales to chickenless people. So they're always out there for sure. So let's take a look at this handout and let's see if we can come up with some ideas and maybe help you brainstorm some ideas. So that way you can leave here with some action. So a couple of simple ones you could think about, for Steven here, it says your mom's cell phone. So, and dad's cell phone. You just think about like just sitting down with them again, going A through Z of every person that's in there. What's interesting enough is your parents meet new people all the time. I just met a new person at the gym today. Now, I don't have their phone number or anything, but like little side conversation between sets. People meet people all the time. So, I meet people at the PB&J frenzy, volunteering. So there might be some, a couple of new ideas in their phones that you could connect to and reach out to. Christmas card list, especially during this time of year, might be something that you could ask about and revisit. Maybe see if they might might have an old one. I would not underestimate the power of Facebook and social media of, people that are in your network. So what I'm going to do is let's take a peek here. I'm going to share a screen and let's go to Facebook real quick. So follow. You guys can see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. I did this with Sierra once. I don't know if you remember doing this or not, but so Nicole Watkins Dufala. I'm assuming that's mom.
Yeah.
Oh, we have 7 mutual friends. Look at that. We're buds. So if I'm, right here, so I click like work, for example. Chris Dufala, is that your dad?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So all these people. So just, this, I'm not Steven, but if I was, mom has all these people exposed, 839 of them, actually. I would just go through. Sarah, she looks like someone. Add message. Nikki looks pretty good. Add message. Oh, yeah, she fit mom. Add message. Boom, boom, boom. My goodness. Look how many people are here. Why do I have so many friends with these people? 10 mutual friends? My goodness. What is this?
She's agent for one of the offices.
So my goodness, I'm connected with all these people. I'm about to do demos with them. Now, are you kidding me? This is like prime mom right here. Like jewelry and like likes nice things. Have you seen Shelly Rush?
That's my brother's ex-girlfriend's mom.
Have you seen her?
Not yet. So not yet.
You haven't, dude. Look at her.
I know.
She's blinging out, man. Appreciates quality, makeup well done. I mean, probably the easiest signature set you'll ever sell. So all I'm saying is, look at this. Look at this happy couple right here. Founder and CEO of Sensible Money. Who's Dana? What the heck?
I don't know.
Yeah, you should probably know her. She's a CEO of a company. What is Sensible Money? I don't even know what that is, but man, I definitely want to hang out with her. Geez, this guy, 49 mutual friends. This guy probably knows everyone. Who is that?
That's one of the agent's ex-boyfriends. One of the agents on our team ex-boyfriends.
Well, that guy knows everyone. Apparently, he's 49 mutual friends with me. Look at Michelle Hall. My goodness, she looks so happy. And all the trees and stuff. Oh my God, she's going to Michelle's 50th birthday this Saturday. What if it was something as simple as like "Happy birthday, Michelle"? Let's see what's happening at her party. Michelle's 50th birthday party. Look at this. It's going to be Saturday night. You better give her a gift. There's 4 people going. Oh, Michelle, I'm so sorry. I would send her and be like, I'm sorry I didn't get my invitation, but I'll see you then. 5 o'clock. Who is she? Who's Michelle?
I have no idea.
I would find out. I would find out.
So what would you recommend if I messaged all these people already, but some of them didn't respond? But I don't think I added them as a friend. They can still see it, but some of them responded. So like I don't know if that's.
Well, the how doesn't matter. The how is in this handout over here.
Oh.
But like, Sarah, look at this, dude. Have you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already messaged her, but she didn't respond. So what would the next action step be if I did
Hey,
that?
I'm sure this got overlooked. I was just seeing if it got received.
Okay.
I'm sure my previous message got overlooked. I was just following up to see if it got received. She's friends with Colton Mewburn, so more than likely she owns Geico. I would bet money she owns Geico. So that's only from one person. That's mom. 839 from mom. I mean, this resource of Facebook is incredible. Let's take a look at Brenda. So who does Brenda have on here that I don't know? Kim. Kim looks like a nice lady. She's not public, so I can't see hers.
That's my granddaughter.
Carmen. Who's Carmen? Ooh, who's Caitlin?
What's that? Can't see it.
Caitlin Lobman. Oh, boom, jackpot. All right. So you have this friend, Caitlin Lobman. Who is that?
I have no idea who that is.
Well, you're friends with her.
I've been trying to friend people.
How do I sort mutual friends with her? The hell?
So I don't know if this is off topic, but say Brenda did an appointment with Caitlin, what would be the proper way to ask for like if she could friend the people on her Facebook rather than like plus getting the recommendations? So if she got 10 recommendations, but she has 500 people on Facebook.
Yeah, I would just say like so after you get the recommendations, you enroll them to your goals, you do everything. We review this on Tuesday's call, but I would just say something like, one of the last things is we find that a lot of people have friends on Facebook that they don't have phone numbers for. And I would love to also kind of increase my knowledge and skill of doing some social media work. Would it be okay if I just message some of them, like introducing myself? Would that be okay? Because you're not gonna message all of them. Like I'm going through her friend. I'm not gonna message like Allison Quinton, but Jamie Wooten. She looks nice. Jackpot? Who's Jamie Wooten?
She's a person that's in Maryland.
Person in Maryland. Well, she has, a ton of people here.
She's in here. She's here. She's
Well, look how
I'm
many
in contact with her lately.
look how many people she has that you could just send a direct message to introducing yourself.
Let me try that.
Look at this guy. The guy looks so happy. And he's the looks like he's a religious guy, so he'd probably be very nice to help you out. Stay-at-home parent. Oh my God, look at this. Chief Executive Officer of Stay-at-home Parent. Do you know another name for stay-at-home parent? A homemaker.
Huh? Homemaker.
Yeah, get it?
Mm-hmm.
She's like waiting. Look at this, the bling out, smiley face. Stay-at-home parent. She definitely wants to hang out with you for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know what you're waiting on. Same thing. You just hover over their name, add friend, send message. Oh, next one. Not her. She's too young. She might be old enough. Yeah, she's young. This one's great. 568 friends. She knows everyone. Get an appointment with her, and you're going to get a ton of more recommendations. Look at this. The works at Behold the Lamb Ministries. Look at this happy couple. Are you kidding me? God-fearing people in Illinois, small town called Heron. Never heard of it in my life. They probably know everyone in the whole town. You get in with them, man. Think about the possibilities of who they could introduce you to. Look at this. I mean, yeah. So let me use that as a transition. So obviously using Facebook. Again, not resources, but resourcefulness. What shows up for each of you guys?
It's really, really opening up your eyes to see how many people there are there that you've never even messaged, or like seeing all the different possibilities and ways that you can get either numbers or, like I said, set appointments, and just being in that mindset to like Sierra said earlier, maybe just want to talk to them, not always expect an appointment. Maybe just like check out, see how they're doing. It's not always about just the appointment. So I think just having that mindset and being resourceful through Facebook, anything else, then you can do a lot of damage. So.
Mm. How about the Dunedin Moms Group? If I'm Brenda, I'm definitely joining that. I don't know if they'll accept you, Stephen, but
I mean,
maybe Sierra. There's 2,900 members in this group. Are you kidding me? Local Mom Business Spotlight. What? All right, there's 3,000 members in this, just in Dunedin. You must answer security questions. And it's an active group serving all families in Dunedin, Clearwater, Palm Harbor, Safety Harbor, and beyond. We strive to keep everyone informed on local events, fun things to do with your family, and several organized meetups. Know it's a really fun thing to do with the family? A Cutco presentation.
I think there's something with those groups that you can only post if you're a business. You can only post on like Mondays.
You don't want to I don't want to post anything. I want to message every one of those moms in that group.
Yeah. What do you not think it would be effective if you like put out one of those Facebook or DM'd people?
Yeah, what I would do if I was Brenda, I would post PB&J for Tampa Bay. Hey moms, we are having a feeding frenzy. If you're interested in doing a family fun gathering, come join us. I'm coordinating this event this Sunday morning. And then I would network with them there. And then afterwards, I would send direct messages to everyone saying, hey, sorry I missed you at the event on Sunday, but I'd still like to introduce myself to you. I'm Brenda. I work with Cutco. Former nurse. And I want to meet new people here in the area. Let's be friends. I mean, my goodness, Brenda, if you don't join this group, you should. That's just one. All I did is Mom Group Florida. I mean, look how many mom groups there are just in Florida. A Disney mom group? Yeah, definitely want to hang out with them. Right. All right. So you guys get the point. Um, as far as the hows, I'll spend the last few minutes on the hows because the bottom line is the hows are simple. The how is you use all these approaches that are in this handout right here. So the main points that you're saying to these people is like, I get paid every time I show Cutco. I'm fairly new. I just want to get some more training with people that I kind of know of, people who know of me. It just makes it more comfortable. And I was looking for people who might set up an appointment with me, just kind of take a look at the products, help me with my presentation. And every appointment I do is going to help me gain some more confidence. Would you be nice enough to like do a quick appointment with me? It'll be fun. Like, that's it. Those are the bullets of what you're trying to get accomplished. As far as the sticky note approach, you have the sticky note approach. Email to past teachers to reconnect with them. You got an email to past teachers. You could also use that as a Facebook message to past teachers. So let's say, for example, Stephen, or Sierra, who's one of your past teachers that, that you're like, man, I'd be curious to see what they're up to.
I actually wrote down my principal I had the last year. He was pretty new.
What was his name?
Mr. Thacker.
Do you know his first name?
No.
Stephen or Sierra, do any of you know a first name of any teacher?
Yeah.
Oh.
Nick Tweet, his first name.
Nick Tweet?
Mm-hmm.
Like Tweet?
Yeah.
Nick Tweet.
You're in groups, yeah.
Dillingham, Alaska. I'm assuming that's the one. Oh my, OMG, Mr. Tweet, your dog is adorable and scary all at the same time. Look at this. 32 people likes him, so likes that post, so he's popular. Friends. Oh my god, and he has his profile public. Look at this. Who are all these people? Oh my gosh. You said this is a teacher? Yeah, he does not understand Facebook. I cannot believe he has his profile public. But look at this. Elementary principal, Dillingham School District, Nick. You know that person?
I've seen him, yeah.
You did a demo with him already?
No, I've seen him in elementary, or elementary school.
Look at all these people. Oh my gosh. I'm about to message them and do some virtual demos. Hey, I don't know if you remember Sierra Roll, but I'm friends with her. Would you be nice enough to help me do a Cutco appointment? Oh my, this guy it's not loaded with prospects. Anyway, So what you could do is you could send this one to him. Hey, Mr. Tweet, I don't know if you remember me, but I actually went to school at blank. I graduated in blank. Let me share the screen. And I was in your Spanish class, or I was in your school. I was trying to get in touch with you because I had a quick question about something. I'm working towards a scholarship with my new summer job, and I was hoping you can help me out. What's the best phone number to reach you on, and a good time of day to give you a call? Looking forward to talking to you. Simple. You could do something like that. Friends to parents. Friends for parents numbers. Sending it to your friends, something like that. A Facebook post from your customers. Facebook message to direct to potential customers. So this would be like the copy and paste. What I would say for people you've never met before, you might even, so if I'm Steven, sending it to your mom's friends. Hey, David, this is Steven DeFala. I'm so-and-so, what's your mom's name again? Nicole, that's right. So I'm Nicole DeFala's son, and I just recently graduated Clover Central Catholic High School, and I'm looking to follow mom's footsteps and go into business. and I had a quick favor to ask you. My mom thought you might be nice enough to help me out with it. That's all I would say.
For Facebook posts or for Facebook?
For a Facebook message, yeah. So I would end it right here.
Oh, why? And then continue when they respond.
And then continue the conversation when they respond. So I would say,
Yes, can you say it again?
I recently graduated Clear Central Catholic High School, and I'm looking to follow my mom's footsteps going into business. And I actually had a favor to ask you, and my mom thought you might be nice enough to help me out. Something like that. But like my mom thought you might be nice enough to help me out. ... question mark. Something like that. It's like, hey, Steven, sure, what is it? When they respond, it's like, well, the company I'm working for offers, opportunities to help me get some really great experience. And my assignment is to set up appointments with people to show a product, get their opinion on it, products to a Cutco. You don't get anything if you show it. Right now, the biggest contest of the year, see where it says the 2 weeks after Christmas, you would just say, biggest contest of the year before Christmas, where if I hit my appointment goal, I could earn an opportunity to advance with this company and even win a fun trip. It's fun, it's easy, it's fast, it takes less than an hour. Is there any way possible you can be available anytime this next week? It would really help me. I look forward to hearing back from you. You're muted.
Once they respond saying that they'll do it, they'll like, what's the favor? Yeah, then you just send the rest of the message.
Yeah, and I would just customize it to you.
Yeah.
Tweak it just a little bit. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, that's a move for sure.
Yep. Text directs, from each of your appointments, of course. And then as far as like when you begin phoning and calling these people, just like be ready to fight for the demos. That's not the topic today of like phoning, but like you get them on the phone, just like tell them straight up, I'll be the highlight of your day. You're gonna love hanging out with me. I'll be so much fun. The product line that I show is just a blast. It's really interesting, and it's really cool. It'll be your good deed for the day, stuff like that. Have fun with the phones. Have fun with calling these people, and just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process of creating opportunities for yourself. So let's kind of wind up. Let's wind up. What biggest takeaways, biggest light bulbs? And first of all, I just want to thank you all for joining in this morning. It would be a pretty sad morning if I was sitting here by myself talking to myself. So what are actions? In fact, actually, more importantly, why don't you take 20 seconds real quick and come up with some potential action steps that you can take. Cool. So what were some of the things that showed up for you?
A couple action steps for me was messaging everyone I already messaged with the follow-up text. And they maybe they overlooked it or whatever, just following up with them, and text past customers to post on their Facebook for them. So I actually just texted someone. So because I always do selfies with my customers, so I'll send them the selfie and then the Facebook post template, and then I'll ask them to post it on their Facebook, so, and tag me in it. So
Excellent.
Mine were just to get a hold, and like Steven said, we messaged some of the people I already messaged. And just get back on Facebook and actually try and look up Nick Tweet and another principal, and just lead with curiosity.
Excellent.
For me, it's been the point of curiosity. I can think of 2 or 3 doctors that I used to work with, that I was close to, and then I might have their number, old numbers at least. And then there are people that you show me on the Facebook that I'm going to look at the church directory and see if I have their number. If I don't have their number, I'm going to text them on Facebook, send them a message. And joining the moms group, that's a great idea, actually, and PB&J. I like that idea. So.
Love it. Kind of love it. All right. From what I understood, you still sound like The Exorcist, but
Yeah, is there something wrong with the volume or something?
yeah, I don't know. It's just
Is it echoing?
you'll listen to it. It just sounds like distorted, like you're a smoker, like a smoker talking into a throat voice box.
Oh.
So anyway, thanks for your time this morning. I'll send out the link in case you want to revisit any of the verbiage we talked about. I'm going to stop recording now.